So this is a short half an hour stretch and mobility session which you can do as a follow-up to a run or to one of my PT sessions where you're working your muscles hard. So you can use this as a bit of a cool down, or you can just do it as a standalone and use it to help build some mobility and stretch out some of your muscles. So I will take you through the session. We'll start at the front of our mats doing some sun salutations just to get our blood flowing, start our muscles moving and get ready for some deeper stretches. So if you start by coming to the top of your mat, breathing in, taking your arms up, looking up to your palms, exhaling, folding forward, bend your legs as much as you need to. No need to be super straight in the legs at this point. And then you're going to plant your hands firmly on the ground, take your right foot back, and then take your left foot back. Drop down to your knees, to your chest, and to your chin. And then inhaling, come up into a small cobra, so a little back bend, looking forward, nothing too strong at this stage. And then pushing back through your knees, tucking your toes, and coming up into a downwards facing dog. So let's take a moment just to come to your dog, maybe walk your feet a little, getting some stretch going in the backs of your legs. So walking through, dropping one heel at a time down to the mat. And then we're going to come through to a kneeling position. And we'll bring our right leg through between our hands. And then we'll inhale and lift your right arm up and gaze at your right hand. And then coming back down, bringing your left leg through and coming back up to the starting position. We'll do another round of those. So inhale, looking up to your hands. Exhale, folding forwards over your legs. Nice bend in the knees, no need to be straight. Inhaling, taking your left leg back this time, followed by your right leg into a plank position. Dropping down onto your knees, onto your chest, and to your belly, and then reaching up, small cobra, looking forwards, small back bend, feet pushing firmly through the tops of your feet into the ground. And then exhaling, pushing back through your knees and your toes to come up into a downwards dog. So this time we'll stay nice and still in our downwards dog. We'll think about really stretching down through the heels so you can feel the stretch through your legs, pushing up through your sit bones into your lower back and making sure you're broad and open across the shoulders, head nice and dangling. So dropping down onto the knees, this time we'll bring our left foot through. You can pick it up and bring it through if it doesn't want to come by itself, that's okay. And then planting your right hand down, we'll lift our left hand up and look up towards our left hand. Left hand comes down, tucking that right toe, bringing your right leg through, and then inhaling, coming up to standing. One more round. So exhaling, reaching down, bend your legs. Right leg goes back into press up position, left leg follows, knees come down, chest, chin and belly. Reaching up through a small back bend in a cobra, gaze directly in front of you. And then pushing back through your knees, through your toes, weight into your palms, and pushing back into downwards facing dog. So this time we're going to take our right leg up and just stretch it out behind us, so really push through the ball of that right foot. And then you can bring that right foot through and maybe tap it onto your right elbow before sending it back and back down next to the left foot. So this time we'll pick up our left foot, stretch the left foot out behind us, and then tapping against left elbow, leg goes back behind, back down again, and then down onto your knees. And so this time right leg comes back through again, left foot plants down, and we inhale, twist and look up to your right hand. Exhaling, planting your hands around your foot, tucking your left toe and coming back in. And inhaling, nice soft knees all the way up to standing. Last one, this time on our left leg. So exhaling, coming down over your legs, bending your knees as much as you need to. Plant your palms firmly. Left leg goes back first this time. Right leg follows. Down to your knees, chin, chest and belly. Inhaling to cobra. And then exhaling through your knees, tucking your toes, pushing back up to downwards facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. Lovely. And then this time we'll come down onto our knees. Left leg comes through. Pick it up if you need to. Planting your right hand and then sweeping that left arm up. Looking up to your left hand. Coming back down. Tucking right toes and coming back in to join your feet. And then inhaling soft knees. Coming all the way up to standing. So we'll take a short warrior sequence now. So taking your hands on your hips, take your left leg back behind you, right leg bends. Make sure the knee of your right leg is in a straight line with your ankle, so no rolling forward. Make sure that knee is in a nice straight line. And then we'll lift up and take our arms horizontal, so looking down through the middle finger of your front hand. We'll hold this for a count of 3, 2, and 1. And then reaching backwards, flip your palm over, straighten the front leg, take a nice stretch upwards, right hand goes over your head, left hand slides down the back of your left leg, and we'll take a stretch here for a count of 3, 2, and 1. This time bend the right knee again, hands come together in front of your chest, and you're just going to drop down and bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee, twisting your palms towards your chest, and then just turn and look over your left shoulder. And hold that for a count of 3, 2, and 1. And then pushing through that right leg, coming back up to standing. Twist your leg so that you're now facing the other direction, and this time your left leg is bent. Again, make sure that knee is tracking directly above your ankle. You're not leaning forward too much. Back leg is straight. Right leg tucked in somewhere around 45-degree angle. Taking your arms to horizontal, to shoulder length. Make sure they're not hunched up, so allow your shoulders to drop. And you're gazing down that left hand, the centre of your left hand through your middle finger. We're holding this for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Flip over your left palm, drop that right hand to your back thigh, straighten your front leg, and then leaning backwards, taking a nice stretch down the left side of your body. We'll hold this for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Bending that front knee again, hands come together in front of your chest, taking a dip down towards your left knee, so your left elbow comes to touch the inside of your left knee, twisting your palms towards your chest, and then turning to look over your right shoulder, so up to the ceiling, looking over your right shoulder. We'll hold this for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Then pushing through your left leg, coming back up to standing, we'll twist our feet, and this time we'll come back down to the mat into a kneeling position. And we'll do some cat-cow stretches. So come onto tabletop or all 4, so your feet are flat on the ground, hands are shoulder distance apart, and your shoulders, wrists and elbows are all in a straight line. So we're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the shoulders and chin, and then exhaling, rolling through the spine, really pushing up through your shoulder blades. And then inhaling, dropping your belly, lifting your tailbone, lifting your shoulders. And exhale, rolling up into cat. So really roll through the spine, pushing your shoulders open and outwards. Inhaling to cow, chin comes up, belly drops. And exhaling, hollow your abdomen, really push through your back, get a nice wave through your back in your cat position. And then coming back into tabletop. So we'll do thread the needle stretch. It's a really good stretch for your shoulders. So moving your right hand in just a touch and picking up your left hand, you're going to slide your left hand underneath your right arm until it's flat on the ground, and then drop so that your cheek and your temple are flat on the mat. So you can stay here balancing with your right hand, or you can pick your right arm up and take it back and drop it over your lower back and down towards your left thigh. So hips stay high, and you're just allowing a stretch and a bit of rotation in your shoulder, in both shoulders. We'll hold this for 3, 2, and 1. So lifting that right arm back up again, taking your right hand down, using your right hand to lever yourself back up. And this time we'll swap round and work on the other side. So left arm comes in a touch, right hand goes underneath, palm facing upwards, rolling down so that that arm stretches as far as you can underneath your left. Temple comes down to the mat. And then you can keep your left hand here to support yourself, or if you like, you can lift that arm up and drop it down towards the right thigh. So holding this for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. So arm goes up, dropping down, coming back up to all fours. And we'll take an extended child's pose now. So knees wide to the edge of your mat, toes together, sinking back onto the tops of your feet. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Really push through your palms. You get a lovely stretch in your armpits. And holding this for 5 breaths. So really looking for that opposing stretch, so pushing forward with your palms and your armpits and pushing back with your bottom and your hips. So you get a lovely stretch all the way through your back. And then coming back up to kneeling, we'll take a couple of seated twists. So legs out in front of you, nice straight legs. You can do a bend in your legs if straight's too much. So a bend is okay. What you're looking for is a stretch down the backs of your legs. So reaching forward, grab where you can. It might be here, it might be here. If you can reach your feet, that's fantastic, but don't worry if you can't. Find that place where if you then pour over your legs, you get a nice stretch up the back of your legs. So we'll hold that for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. So coming back up to seated. So this time we'll bring the soles of the feet together. And again, holding where you can. You might be here on your knees. You face around the front so you can see. You might be here on your knees, here on your ankles, or here on your toes. Wherever that place is, just grab it. Maybe take your elbows out towards your knees. And again, just take a stretch over, and you should feel a stretch in the inside of your groin. And also just on your lower back as you open up the hips. We'll hold that for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Okay, let's try some seated twists now. So right leg goes out in front of you, left leg comes up. So you've got about a hand's width of gap between your thigh and your left knee. So when you've got that position, your left hand goes behind you, fingers pointing away from you, and reach up with the right hand, Bring your right elbow across so the elbow is on the outside of your left knee. Palm faces upwards, and then you're just going to twist and look over your left shoulder, opening that shoulder out. Lovely. Good. Making sure you roll your left shoulder open as much as you can, feeling that twist in your lower spine. And hold this for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. So swapping sides. You can stay where you are. I'm just moving so you can see. So this time right leg, comes through. About a hand's gap between your thigh and your right leg. Right hand goes behind you. Left arm comes up and over, taking the elbow to the outside of that right knee, pointing your palm upwards, and then rolling your right shoulder open and twisting to look over your right shoulder. Really feel an opening in your shoulder and lifting up through the crown of your head, as well as rotating. And hold this for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, good. All right, so this time coming back into a kneeling position, we'll take a little quad stretch and a side stretch. So bringing your right leg forward, left leg stays behind, sinking down into that right hip. You should feel a stretch down the front of your left hip. Right knee stays over right ankle. So inhaling, lifting your arms up, and then taking your left wrist with your right hand, you're going to reach and just lean over towards the right. And you should feel a stretch down the left side of your body and into your left quadricep, so your thigh muscle. Holding that for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. So swapping legs. So this time left leg comes forward, right leg comes behind. So sinking down into your hips. Really feel a stretch. You can tilt your pelvis forward so you get a stretch down the front of that thigh. And then inhaling, arms come up, left wrist grabs right hand, leaning over towards the left and feeling a stretch down the right side of the body and into that right quadriceps muscle, so your right thigh. You'll probably feel it quite high up towards the hip. Good, okay. And coming back to centre. And we'll come down and we'll do some work in bridge. So coming down this time onto your back, rolling down through your spine, finding a nice straight position, arms down by your sides, feet flat on the ground, about 30 centimetres away from your bottom. You should just about be able to reach towards your heels. So taking a moment here just to find that position, and then with an inhale, lifting up. So you come up into a bridge, resting on your shoulders and through your feet, and you have a nice straight line between your knees, your hips and your chest. You can hold that position there, squeezing with your buttocks, making sure you're protecting your lower back by engaging your core and squeezing your buttocks. And then if it feels nice and you want to, you can take your hands behind your head for a bit more of a stretch, if that feels nice. Or if you feel that you can clasp your hands on the mat below you, you can roll up a little bit more onto your shoulders and get a slightly more of a back bend and a shoulder opener. Holding this for 3, 2, and 1. So rolling back down through your spine, really slowly come back down to the mat vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing all of your back to drop to the ground. Think about tilting your pelvis under and slightly upwards, so that allows your whole back to come flat on the mat. And then with an exhale, release, and you'll feel that natural curve forming in your spine. So this time we'll take our right ankle and pop it on top of your left knee. And then inhaling you in to sit up and reach through and grab hold of the back of your left thigh. Flex your left foot, look for a 90-degree angle in your left leg, and then just gently ease your right knee away from your body. And you should feel a stretch in the outside of your right hip. You can have your head down on the floor if that's easier, or if you like, you can lift your head up. Sometimes that gives a greater stretch in the right hip. Just make sure your chin is away from your chest. Make sure there's some space. And then dropping that foot to the ground, taking your arms out to the sides to goalpost position, palms facing down, rolling over to the left, letting your right foot drop down towards the left side of your body, and then turn and look over your right arm. And rolling back through centre, this time rolling over to the other side, allowing your right knee to drop down to the right. Keep your shoulders as flat as you can on the ground. And you're going to turn and look over your left shoulder. Loosening and a rotation in your lower spine, and a stretch in your outer left hip. Coming back through centre, this time swap legs, left leg comes up and sits on right knee. And you're going to reach through with your hands, grab the back of your right thigh, flex your right foot, flex your left foot, pushing your left foot, easing it away from your body so you feel a stretch in the outside of that left hip. Your head can be on the mat or lifting up and looking at your ankle, and just make sure your chin is away from your chest. Maybe easing out a little more to deepen the stretch in your left hip. Right foot comes back down to the mat, arms come out to the side, and we're going to roll over to the right, dropping that left foot down to the right side, keeping your shoulders flat on the floor, twisting and then looking over your left arm. And coming back through centre, rolling across, so this time left knee comes down to the left side of your body, and you're going to look over your right arm. Coming back up through centre, stretching both legs out in front of you, taking your hands behind your head, and then flexing your feet, taking a big stretch through your body, so really stretching, clasping your hands together, pushing up through your palms, pushing your palms away from you, flexing your feet, pushing your heels away, so feel the muscles of your legs gripping around the bone. You can grip your buttocks as well, engage your core, so really feel as if your whole body is in tension. And then with a big exhale, just release the tension. We'll do that once more. Inhaling, really squeeze, 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 squeeze and stretch. And then exhaling with a big out. Last one, breathing in, squeeze. And exhaling. Releasing your hands, taking your hands down by the side of your body, allowing your feet just to open and release, letting your shoulders open and drop, feeling everything in your body soften as you come to a place of stillness. Just focusing on your breath. and allowing your muscles to be loose and relaxed. And if you have time, you can spend a few more minutes staying where you are in Shavasana, or corpse position, the resting pose. But if that's all you have time for today, well done for completing this session, and enjoy the rest of your day.